the bottom.
At the bottom.
Yeah. Just reverse it. There you go.
You wouldn't believe I used to be in technology. Okay, verses 1 through 12. Now after Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of King Herod, Magi from the east arrived in Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east and come to worship him." When Herod the king heard this, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. Gathering together all the chief priests and scribes of the people, he inquired of them, "Where's the Messiah to be born?" They said to him, "In Bethlehem of Judea, for this is what has been written by the prophet. And you, Bethlehem, land of Judah, are by no means least among the leaders of Judah, for out of you shall come forth a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." Then Herod secretly called the Magi and determined from them the exact time the star had appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem and said, "Go and search carefully for the child, and when you have found him, report to me so that I may too come and worship him." After hearing the king, they went their way, and the star which they had seen in the east went on before them until it came and stood over the place where the child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced exceedingly with great joy. After coming into the house, they saw the child with Mary, his mother, and they fell to the ground and worshipped him. Then, opening their treasures, they presented him gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And having been warned by God in a dream not to return to Herod, the Magi left for their own country by another way.
All right. Thank you, David. So for this morning, there are three questions I would like for us to explore about this story. And maybe you have some similar questions yourself. Who were these wise men? How did they know the meaning of the star? And just exactly what was the star? There are several theories that have attempted to explain or answer these questions. However, as we go through the text, I hope to give you what I believe is the strongest explanation and that best answers these questions. Let's start with verse 1 and 2. After Jesus was born in Bethlehem in Judea during the time of King Herod, Magi from the east came to Jerusalem, saying, "Where is he who has been born King of the Jews? For we saw his star in the east and have come to worship him." So this first part I highlighted here, as you can see on the screen, is the Magi from the east. Magi means wise men. In reality, they were seers, known for their expertise in astronomy, astrology, and ancient prophecies. Over time, they became prominent advisors in the Medo-Persian and Babylonian empires. Interpreters of celestial events positioned them to recognize significant occurrences, such as the star that heralded the birth of Jesus. Many Bible scholars and believe these Magi were a priest-like scribes that came from Mesopotamia and Persia. The text does not tell us, though, how many of those wise men there were. We have assumed that there were three men because of what? The three gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Also, Christian tradition has given them names. Do you remember any of the names from tradition? Casper, Melchior, and Balthazar. But again, the Bible is silent. No names are really mentioned in Scripture. So, this next part of this verse that we look at here is, where is he who has been born King of the Jews? You know, this here raises the second question. How did they know that the king specifically of the Jews was born? We could simply conclude that God told them in a dream, just as he did the shepherds. He told them, he sent the angels, and the angels told him that the Christ was born. But the text in Matthew does not give us any evidence of that. However, Scripture in the Old Testament does give us some clues. And we can start by going back in history at least 1800 BC, before Christ, to a story in the book of Genesis. In chapter 49 of Genesis, Jacob, the patriarch of the 12 tribes, let's see here, I think I went too far. Here we go. In chapter 29 of Genesis, Jacob, the patriarch of the 12 tribes of Israel, gathered his 12 sons together to tell them what would happen to them in the future. And he gave each one a blessing and a prophecy that was unique to their character and to the future of their offspring. To his son Judah, he gave a profound blessing. This is what he said: